Good morning.
Good morning.
Please rise in body or spirit for hymn number 69, Give Thanks. 69. Good morning and welcome. I'm Laura A. I'll be the worship associate for this service of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Charlotte County, also known as UUFCC. I am a short, curvy, cisgender woman with silver and purple hair. Today, I'm wearing a black and white shirt. In the spirit of gratitude this month, there is much to be thankful for here at this fellowship. There are many people who have supported this fellowship with their time, with their talents, and with their money. Know that you are all appreciated. This service is being broadcast live on YouTube and will be available for viewing on the UUFCC YouTube channel after the service. It is our practice to use only first names and, when helpful, last initials. You are welcome. You are welcome here at UUFCC, whether you are here in the sanctuary or whether you are watching us online. No matter where you come from, no matter your background or your spiritual journey, we know you come here for different reasons: to find community, to seek your spiritual and personal truths, to ask questions, to nurture and to be nurtured, to explore new ideas. We come from different places, different religions, different beliefs, and different backgrounds. We trust you will find something that you need here: comfort, connection, challenge, and love. And we hope you will find ways to help others. If you are new here and comfortable doing so, would you stand up and tell us where you're from and how you found your way to us this morning so we can welcome you? Tom has a mic. Nancy has a microphone. Is there someone back after extended absence? Perhaps you've been up north? Well, welcome. Thank you anyway, Nancy. If you would like to learn more about the fellowship, visit our website at uufcc.org. If you are here in the sanctuary, ask someone. Most of us are friendly, and even the grumpy ones would be happy to talk to you. We're glad you have chosen to spend your Sunday morning with us. The prelude this morning is O God Beyond All Praising by Gustav Holst. Thank you, Margaret. Our service is a sacred time, and the chalice is our sacred symbol. It is a reminder that we gather in community, in a safe community, in this community that we have created together. As AJ comes forward to light the chalice, would you please join me in reciting our affirmation? The words are in the order of service. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is its law. This is our aspiration, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. Thank you, AJ. I now invite the youth and the young at heart to join me for a story this morning. The book I'd like to share this morning is Famous. It was published 20 years ago. Did you have this book when you were a kid? Did your parents read this book to you? Perhaps some of you grands bought it for your grandchildren. It's famous because it is one of the most challenged banned books. In fact, it holds the record of being the #1 banned book for 7 of those 20 years. As recently as last month, a judge in the Panhandle upheld a ban in one of the school districts there. This book is not allowed in schools in Pensacola, but it is allowed at UUFCC. And Tango Makes Three by Justin Richardson, Pete Parnell, and illustrated by Henry Cole. And this particular book was donated by Patrick, his last name I'm not going to say, our PFLAG chair. In the middle of New York, there is a great big park called Central Park. Children love to play here. It has a toy boat pond where they can all sail their boats. It has a carousel to ride in the summer and an ice rink to skate on in the winter. Best of all, it has its very own zoo. Every day, families of all kinds go to visit the animals that live there. Oh, and did I say this is a true story? Not fiction. Children and their parents aren't the only families at the zoo. The animals make families of their own. There are red panda bear families with mothers and fathers and furry red panda bear cubs. There are monkey dads and monkey moms raising noisy monkey babies. There are toad families and toucan families and cotton top tamarin families too. And in the penguin house, there are penguin families. Every year at the very same time, the girl penguins and the boy penguins start noticing each other. And the boy penguins start noticing the girl penguins. When the right girl and the right boy find each other, they become a couple. Two penguins in the penguin house were a little bit different. One was named Roy and the other was named Silo. Roy and Silo were both boys, but they did everything together. They bowed to each other and walked together. They sang to each other and they swam together. They didn't spend much time with the girl penguins, and the girl penguins didn't spend much time with them. Instead, Roy and Silo wound their necks around each other. Their keeper, Mr. Gramsci, noticed the two penguins and thought to himself, They must be in love. Roy and Silo watched how the other penguins made a home, so they built a nest of stones for themselves. Every night, Roy and Silo slept there together, just like the other penguin couples. And every morning, Roy and Silo woke up together, but one day, Roy and Silo saw that the other couples could do something they could not. The mama penguin would lay an egg. She and the papa penguins would take turns keeping the egg warm until finally it would hatch, and then there would be a baby penguin. Roy and Silo had no egg to sit on and keep warm. They had no baby chick to feed and cuddle and love. Their nest was nice, but it was empty. One day, Roy found something that looked like what the other penguins were hatching, and he brought it to their nest. It was only a rock, but Silo sat carefully on it, and sat and sat. When Silo got sleepy, he slept, and when Silo was done sleeping and sitting, he swam, and Roy sat. Day after day, Silo and Roy sat on the rock, but nothing happened. Then Mr. Gramsci got an idea. He found an egg that needed to be cared for, and he brought it to Roy and Silo's nest. Roy and Silo knew just what to do. They moved the egg to the center of the nest. Every day they turned it, so each side stayed warm. Some days Roy sat while Silo went for food. Other days it was Silo's turn to take care of their egg. They sat in the morning and they sat at night. They sat through lunchtime and swim time and supper. They sat at the beginning of the month and they sat at the end of the month. They sat all of the days in between. Until one day, they heard a sound coming from inside their egg. Peep, 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 it said. Roy and Silo called back, squawk, squawk. Peep, peep, answered the egg. Suddenly, a tiny hole appeared in the egg's shell. And then, crack, out came their very own baby. She had fuzzy white feathers and a funny black beak. Now Roy and Silo were fathers. We'll call her Tango, Mr. Gramsci decided, because it takes two to make a tango. Roy and Silo taught Tango how to sing for them when she was hungry. They fed her food from their beaks. They snuggled her in their nest at night. Tango was the very first penguin in the zoo to have two daddies. Soon Tango grew strong enough to leave the nest. Roy and Silo took her for a swim, just like all the other penguin families. And all the children who came to the zoo could see Tango and her two fathers playing in the penguin house with the other penguins. Hooray, Roy! Hooray, Silo! Welcome, Tango, they cheered. At night, the three penguins returned to their nest. There, they snuggled together, and like all the other penguins in the penguin house, and all the other animals in the zoo, and all the families in the big city around them, they went to sleep. I said that this book was donated by Patrick, and that it's a banned book. Do you know we have a section of our library here at the Fellowship for banned books? If you would like to borrow a banned book, I think you should check out that section of our library. And you're welcome to do so. Borrow it, bring it back when you're done. And maybe you have a banned book that you would like to add to our collection. If you give it to me or to the office, we can stamp it and add it to the library. Thank you for listening to my story. I would like to invite the youth to join others on the porch. I don't know if you know this, but for the last few months, we have had some young people. You've probably noticed the young people. And we have responded and are working on having a program of something that we hope will be interesting to them. So I now invite the youth to go out on the porch. Our opening words this morning were inspired by my experience doing yoga on the beach. Englewood Beach has a yoga program for all bodies, they say. I know some of you do yoga, and even if you don't, you probably know that yoga is about intention. I don't know how you feel as you come into this service this morning, but sometimes I feel like I am not fully present, and I'm not grounded here in the sanctuary. In yoga, we spread our arms and welcome the warmth of the sun. Then we draw that warmth into our heart with physical movement. That intention is to become a more loving person, and I buy into that. I like the idea of setting intention. So would you join me this morning in setting 2 intentions? The first is for you, and the second is for others. Rub your hands together. Creating energy, positive energy. It is positive because you can think of something positive and think to yourself, I am healthy, I am happy, I am peaceful, I am loved. Sometimes I can feel little pillows of air and imagine that that air is full of positive energy. And then draw that energy into yourself by placing your hands over your heart. And when you pause and you breathe, your body absorbs that positive energy. You are now happier, more at peace, whatever your intention. Now rub your hands together again thinking positive thoughts. And this time, send that energy out into the world, which needs more health, happiness, peace, and love. Thank you for indulging me this morning. Namaste. We have a long tradition at UUFCC of sharing our joys, sorrows, and life milestones. These messages dear to us can be written in the red book at the back of the sanctuary. Those at home are welcome to email your entries to bookoflife@uufcc.org. The entries will be read by the worship associate to the congregation during the Sunday morning service. Joseph, would you bring the book forward? Thank you. In addition, we can share messages by adding a stone to the bowl of water. The stone represents your milestone, and the water surrounding it is the community offering a sanctuary for your heart. You may share these silently, or you may speak aloud. If you are speaking, please be brief, and remember this service is on the internet. First the book, then the stones, then quiet meditative music. I wrote this one this morning. Yesterday, in a leadership training meeting with others in Florida, we were told of ongoing litigation regarding the Unitarian Universalist Association in danger of being labeled a terrorist organization. I'm not sure what this means, but we will be hearing more of this in the near future. It is a concern, and it is a low point milestone. I invite you to come forward for the stones.
I put a great big one in there. Since I was talking with you last week, Robert is showing improvement every day. So that is the first time. This is the first improvement we've seen in probably 5 months. So I offer you that you had something to do with that, and please keep it up.
I'm Carolyn. We are living in scary times. Unpleasant things are happening. But every time someone dies, I receive more jewelry. This is not good. My jewelry boxes are full of jewelry. I'm serious. Every time a female relative dies, I get jewelry. A male dies, I get jewelry. So, this week I discovered that gold is $4,000 an ounce. I have boxes and drawers. I don't mean it's like a treasure chest, but a few little things. We took some things. It's amazing. They just hand you $100 bills, which I don't need and I don't want. We have many needs and wants right here. Walked in the door, I almost fell over all that food. That's fantastic. But we have other needs of people. My husband, as a beginning math teacher, and we had 3 little boys, we were on what was called food stamps. That program is in danger. If we can help, go to your jewelry box. See what you can find. There are many places right here in Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda, that will take it and hand you $100 bills.
I actually wrote some things down because people would think that I'm not shy coming up here, but everybody was shy in my family except for my dad. And so I've gotten my voice later in life, but I often come up here and I'm like, oh my gosh, what was I going to say? So yesterday was a fantastic day because Patrick, Arlene, Randall, Nancy, and I represented our fellowship in the parade, the Vets Parade. And Nancy and I had fun rocking to the Humana's van in front of us. They had rock music. I went to the guy and said, oh, I love your music. Thanks so much. So that was fun because it was a small group of us, but we were together. Then I went to Aldi's and got some food for a food drive. The United, I don't know if I can say the group, but another fellowship had a food drive, and I'm not great at picking out food for other people, but I did it. And the next thing is our vegan group. Corey and Jessica invited us to go to the Cava, the Punta Gorda Cava event in downtown Punta Gorda. And I was like mixed about going, but it was so wonderful. And Jessica and Corey sang beautifully. And it was a lot of fun. There were quite a few of us, and I have a different experience about the Cava. I didn't participate in the Cava, but it was fun. And there's just so much going on in this community. And I just am so fulfilled living here. Thanks.
And because they were marching for Veterans Day, are there veterans here that we should recognize? We would like to recognize you. Thank you.
Another big one. I have to say something about that announcement earlier. I am appalled and really sad and disgusted. And this organization and this religion helps so many people and helps so many communities and shares so much love. It breaks my heart that this kind of thing could happen, but it also tells me how important we are right now to this country. Oh my goodness, how important we are. So let us stand strong and with our love and our wonderful beliefs of acceptance for all, and spread that around. Thank you.
So I want to be the bright light, if that's okay. Singing as a combat to depressing things, things that we don't have control over, that's definitely been a positive coping skill I've been trying to practice more. So I'm not much of a singer, but I did get brave, like Miss Jane said last night. And I just want to extend that offer to anybody. You know, the vegan club was chatting about it because downtown Cava does have some vegan, well, they, like all their drinks, you can make them vegan. And you don't have to be into Cava, but we do have karaoke there every other Saturday. So, and it's fun, and it's like Miss Jane was saying, it's like a speakeasy, but there's no alcohol there, but there's definitely some spirited people and a lively bunch. So if you want to exercise that, and gratitude to Miss Margaret as well, because she really and the choir for bringing all the song and music and filling this worship space. It's really important. Thank you.
May we hold these and our unspoken joys and sorrows in our hearts. May we also hold one another in love and tenderness, so this fellowship may be a source of strength and comfort, courage and hope in the days and weeks ahead. We'll now have some quiet meditative music. Please rise in body or spirit for hymn number 128, For All That Is Our Life, number 128.
needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain and loss, for each good thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with faith and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise, for all life is a gift, which we are called to use, to build a common good, and make our own days glad.
I am so impressed by our speaker this morning. I asked for a little introduction, and perhaps he's too busy doing good work to do that. Perhaps he's been introduced several times, but I have an introduction. Pat shows us how to build bridges. He fearlessly, consistently, and faithfully shows up with others and to help others do the right thing. He reminds us of the vulnerable youth in our community and works very hard to make our community safer and friendly for many. When I hear the term beloved community, I know what it is because Pat has shown me.
Oh my, thank you. Good morning. I am Patrick E., he, him pronouns. I'm very pleased today to speak on nurturing gratitude. I'll speak on certain portions of my life in which I reflect on gratitude. I grew up in the suburbs of Pittsburgh, PA in the 60s. As a youth, I was very shy, not wanting to be noticed. Having feelings of being attracted to males did not help. Often LGBTQ or queer youth monitored their behavior, so we had to change of what we liked or didn't like, what we'd like to do, just to fit in, to try to pass in society as a norm. This stifles a person's skills and creativity and at times leads to depression. I was fortunate having a very close family. Although we were not exposed to diversity, with that I came out later at 30 years old after being married to a woman for a year. I thought that would fix me, that would make me what I was supposed to do because I didn't know any outwardly gay, successful people there at that time. Coming out, I found a good counselor and joined a support group that was very healthy and helpful. As I felt better, most of my family grew to accept me as I was. The education is the key element for understanding someone and who might be different than you. I met my current partner a few years after coming out, and this coming week we'll be celebrating our 37 years together. Yeah. Being from a nurturing family, I had excellent role models, and most of them were females that stood out. My mother, Helen, my grandmother, Violet, my mother's mother, and my Aunt Betty. They were the backbone of the family. So with that experience, I wanted to be a parent. So I adopted a son when he was 10 years old. He's now 39. He was a boy of special needs, so I asked for help from groups and therapists, which I received. I was very thankful. I was new to this experience. Appreciate the education I received then, which is why I'm passionate to work with LGBTQ and other groups because we need each other. I needed help then and I received it. Now I want to pay it forward. Currently, I'm the president of the PFLAG chapter of Charlotte County. PFLAG stands for Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays, and it's a national organization, 52 years old, started by Jean Manford in 1972. So she actually, on the news, she's seen her son, her gay son, who was beaten by the police because he was at a demonstration. So she was the first individual parent to publicly say, I'm proud of my son. And her husband was supportive also. So they started, she actually went to a march with her son, and she said, I'll go if I can wear a sign. So it said, I'm proud of my gay son. And young people started coming over, maybe getting hugs from her. And that started the support groups then. So I'm very grateful to her and that group who started that back then. Currently, the support groups with PFLAG, there's over 400 chapters nationally and internationally. International groups might not be PFLAG, but they're LGBT supportive, and they sometimes work with our PFLAGs in the U.S. So I show gratitude to Jean Manford and the parents who showed unconditional love to their offsprings. At PFLAG's 50th anniversary, a couple years ago, First Lady Jill Biden was the keynote speaker. So that is pretty awesome. Yes, as a teacher, so she was there. Our PFLAG Charlotte County chapter, which we meet here, which we are very grateful, is 2.5 years old. Our mission is to provide support to LGBTQ and the people who love them, family and friends. We provide support meetings, advocacy, safe socials, and at times even assist with relocating to another home or another state if needed. Support groups are monthly here at the fellowship. Our group meetings are nonpartisan and confidential. We want everyone to feel welcome to attend and receive education and support. A conservative family may have less understanding and resources than a liberal family. They need us more, and we welcome them. In fact, there was some grandparents who were conservative a few months ago. They came at a distance. Maybe they weren't comfortable with going in their own area, but they came and they needed answers and understanding. And we're very careful not to offend them, with what they didn't understand at that point. So we have rules at the beginning of each meeting for all to hear. We share reading them. So no one will be challenging each other, and all will be respected. We plan safe socials. We don't want anyone to feel isolated because mental health is very respected now. That's a big concern. Last year, we had a bowling social with families. We had 4 lanes going. This year, we planned 2 lanes, end up only using 1. Right now, people are afraid to be in public. Last year, there was a couple families that we sponsored with children, and I contacted the one female parents, and they have been harassed in public, so they did not come bowling. That was very sad. And actually, transgender individuals are very cautious right now, not wanting to be with unwarranted persecution of them for just being themselves. We have strength together. And we very much treasure our allies, which many are in this fellowship, who have come to our meetings and support meetings and business meetings from the beginning. And I'm very grateful to you folks. Advocacy is another aspect that PFLAG provides. I speak at the Charlotte County School Board meetings every month about acceptance and inclusion. I started because the vice president we had was a teacher, and her daughter was a lesbian and also a teacher, and her daughter had been targeted verbally at the school board meetings. Just unheard of. So I speak about acceptance and inclusion. I've met with Mark Vianello, the superintendent of Charlotte Schools, 4 times, mostly about book bannings. I really feel he is a good man. He wants the best for all the students. They do have the, laws coming through. The lawyer who sometimes implements things, I don't verbally go at him, but I give him looks many times. Yeah. We do not want sexually explicit books, which sometimes PFLAG is blamed for that. Just like "And Tango Makes Three," that is a banned book. Was it sexually explicit? No. But a story that includes queer character that a youth can identify with may save their life and realize they are not alone. On September 27th, PFLAG hosted here, which again, we're gratitude for this space, a transgender sensitivity panel that was hosted by Equality Florida was the moderator. And at this time, so Equality Florida works in the Florida area with LGBTQ rights, and they go to bat. They couldn't get any speakers. People were afraid. So thankfully, I was able to get some speakers that I'm associated with, and because I also hired a policeman and a police car to be right outside of the fellowship for safety. We had no incidents, but that's what was needed. Our PFLAG chapter has Drag Queen Bingo fundraisers approximately quarterly, and I'm proud to say we include an additional nonprofit organization each time to focus on and help with their fundraising, to make them visible. It has been Array was the first one, so that's a group in Port Charlotte for LGBTQ youth. It's a drop-in center, and they have found housing for at least 10 people, and some were homeless. So, I mean, they're just tremendous. They just have a leader now, which I'm getting to work with. And then we also, we focused on CARE. The organization helped people who had been abused or raped. Another group we targeted or we showcased Fairy Tale Endings, which no-kill dog shelter. Also the American Welfare League. And then we did NAACP. Our next fundraiser is January 10th, and it will benefit LULAC. So we're proud to do that. And then after that, I plan on doing something for the veterans. There's an ale shop in Port Charlotte, Charlie Foxtrot. He does a lot for veterans, so I'll be meeting with him and what can we do to help him. Recently, October 10th and 12th, myself and Caitlin, who was our PFLAG secretary, attended a PFLAG national convention in Chicago. It was fantastic. I will go again. I found it very beneficial. There was over 500 attendees. The theme was learning with love. And even today, as we're talking, love is what we have to continue, with eyes on us when words that are inappropriate. No, we have to hold with our love. The keynote speaker in Chicago was Governor J.B. Pritzker, who's he's one of my heroes. Again, he spoke about acceptance, respect, and inclusion. For a politician to say that, how refreshing that was. I met with our PFLAG regional representative, Ann Miller, whose territory with PFLAG National is Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, Puerto Rico, and U.S. Virgin Islands. I mean, wow. That is her, to manage. And she always is responsive if I contact her for anything. So Caitlin and I chose different workshops to attend, mostly to get different knowledge and contacts. So I chose Unlocking Your Chapter's Superpowers, that was awesome. And also, the other one was Key Strategies for Effective Leadership and Resolving Dilemmas. And then there was Creating a Safe Space, which was Parenting with Pride in a Political Storm. Another group was We Are All Gender Fluid, about transgender and non-binary individuals. That is not me, so I continue to learn, and I want to understand more of these folks. And another one was From Panic to Power, what families of transgender kids can learn from organizations. So what did I find beneficial from these classes? So Finding Your Chapter's Superpowers was presented by Dayton, Ohio chapter, who have 11 board members. I'm happy to hang on to 3, But since then, and that was finding somebody's superpower. So you talk to an individual, what are you good at? What is good for you? What can, giving them a list of possible board positions. and working with that. So right now I'm focused on increasing our board members because I need help, and I don't mind asking for help to spread our message that we're here to help people. So with that, I have 2 new board members just as of that, after that conference. So the one is Director of Membership, which right now we're having a membership drive for PFLAG, $30 for the year. Half we keep and 15 goes to PFLAG National. And then also we have a Director of Safe Socials. And even these directors, so you can have 2 directors or a committee. So we need help each other. You can come in, share the load, share the work, share the love. So we need to provide support to reach out to other groups and let people know we are here. So speaking of the socials, November 18th, and our socials are for everybody, all the time. So November 18th at 7 p.m., Hallow Bean, which is just down the road from here on 41, right by Five Guys. It's a coffee shop and very welcoming. So we'll be there the 18th at 7. We're going to do that every month. And then November 23rd here, a Sunday at 6 p.m., I'll have an improv. We had done it before during the day, during the week, but that was just for us folks who don't work. I want it to be for families, for everybody. So it's going to be Sunday at 6. We'll provide the food and drinks here from PFLAG, and again, everybody's welcome. Another thing I gathered from the workshops, to be aware of a young family member or friend that you might encounter who are discovering their identity. So whether they may be gay, lesbian, or transgender, sometimes a youth may be identify as gay at first, and then they realize they are transgender. So to ask them about questions, they might have the answers for you, because what teenager does have all the answers. So be patient and caring, just showing unconditional love. If possible, be on the journey with them to understand what they might be going through. So pflag.org is free information for anybody to go on to. So it just pflag.org. So mostly they have individuals, parents, who are talking about their journey, trying to understand their youth or their grandchild. So it is very, very beneficial. Another thing I learned or gained, that non-binary individuals do not line up with transgender people. So non-binary individuals do not identify with male or female. So a transgender individual may be born in a certain, in their gender identity, and they feel they identify with another one. Non-binary do not claim either one. So then that comes to our pronouns. So that's why if somebody would be they, them, that would probably be a non-binary individual. And for me, I hear people say he, they, or she, they, and that took me like, oh, what is that? So I had looked it up. So they might be non-binary, but they sort of lean to one gender more than another. But the best thing is just to ask what they prefer. It's just information. And the presenter who was on this topic he uses oops or ouch. So if he makes a mistake, oops, okay, yeah, I didn't mean. Or if somebody gives him the wrong pronoun, ouch. So it's a general reminder, okay, we'll move on and let's learn together. And even that individual said that they make mistakes all the time. And it's, we're human, and it's okay. So also that from this workshop saying it's okay not to show up, and this is good for us here. There's so much going on. This is such a caring fellowship that it is okay not to show up for every event. It is okay. We know what's in your heart, and we have our limitations. So with that, Saturday, the day of workshops, our regional group was meeting for dinner. I needed a break. I went back to the hotel. I journaled on the day events and made plans of action, and I crawled into bed with the TV. So I have a lot of passion for social intervention and learning, but I need to recognize my limitations and take a break or ask for help. I have Superman socks I wear, but I also wear Mickey Mouse socks. I can identify with both at times. I have great gratitude for PFLAG National and all the presenters, and I like to collect quotes, and often I do from the speakers here. So one quote I got from the convention is, intentional rest, reflection, and care are not a sign of weakness, but beautiful acts of resistance. We come from a long line of people that have turned fear into power. So you are all welcome to be on my mailing list for PFLAG for events. And if you would like to do that, you can see me after. And thank you for listening. Blessed be.
You should check out his socks after the service. There is a lot of need in the world this morning, so please be patient. You may know that each Sunday this month, we are asking support for those in need. We've heard about a family who lost their home and everything in it to a fire. In addition, we have members and friends who have struggles and difficulties. We will share these donations with them at the end of the month. Instead of passing the basket this morning, there is a basket in the back of the sanctuary where the Red Book resides. If you would like to add to this need, please drop your contribution in the basket. If you are using Venmo, note that the intention is for friends and family in need. We have also asked you to bring food to share. It's in the hallway. I'm not sure how long it can stay in the hallway. I don't want anybody to trip over it. But we are collecting that also for our friends and family in need. If there's something there that you need, please help yourself. At the end of the month, we will donate whatever is left of that collection to another group who distributes food. Since this is the second Sunday, our tradition is to share a second helping with a community organization, today PFLAG. And we're taking our regular collection for the fellowship. In our tradition, congregations exist because of the generous support of members and friends. It is our privilege and our responsibility to ensure the health and future of this fellowship. If you are with us for the first time, please do not feel obligated to give. Your presence is your gift to us. So we passed the baskets twice this morning, first for the fellowship and second for PFLAG. Margaret will introduce the offering music.
This morning we're doing a song that's a Hebrew folk song. We're going to be singing it in Hebrew. The translation is how good it is and how pleasant for people to dwell together. It's just a celebration folk song. It's Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam ya. So we're going to do it slowly. It's Hine ma tov umanayim. Let's say that. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam ya. Shevet ahim gam ya. Let's do it again. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet ahim gam ya. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet ahim gam ya. Okay.
It is number 392 in the gray hymnal. I think we're improving. That sounded great. Thank you. Thank you for these gifts. We promise to use them wisely. The calendar of events for the week is printed in the back of the order of service. They can also be found in the weekly update and the calendar on the website. Are there other announcements this morning?
Hi, I'm here to welcome anybody who's interested, plus family and friends, to join us on Thanksgiving. We are having a Thanksgiving potluck, and it will be vegan and non-vegan and whatever you want to bring. It will be wonderful. And we'll have a sign up on the board for how many people are coming, and then later on we'll have a sign up for what can you bring. So please join us. Thank you. What time? 2:30 p.m. 2:30 p.m. On Thanksgiving, 2:30. Yay! Family and friends can come.
Now I invite you to join me in reciting the words in the order of service as Jackie comes up to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish the chalice, but not the light of hope, the fire of commitment, or the warmth of community. May these ideals shine in our lives and warm our hearts until we are together again. Now in peace. Please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, number 210, Wade in the Water. 210.
God's gonna try.
in peace.